You hungry? Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf?
This has like a Mom's Basement kind of feel.
Mom! Mom! Mom!
Still some stuff in the basement.
What basement?
M.O.M.S Basement with Joe Frank. That is quite possibly the dumbest thing I think you've ever said. And Corey Diab.
I can't believe I take part in this show.
The NFL went absolutely berserk this week. Corey's facial expression right now says it all. Got a lot to get into on this week's episode of M.O.M.S Basement. Spoiler alert, we will have 2 episodes this week because I still have to upload the National League preview for Major League Baseball. Haven't gotten around to it. My bad. But the AL preview is up on iTunes and YouTube. As always, I'm your host, Joe. With me is Corey. Matt is behind the camera, sitting there listening to a John Cena song over and over again.
Trust me, it's too much.
It took me by surprise today. Really quickly, make sure you guys go check out Crossover Report at crossoverreport.com and Crossover Report on all social medias. They actually just tweeted at us. You can follow us on Twitter, me at Joe_Frank01, Corey at Corey L. Diablo.
Yeah, because I got high and thought Adam Morrison was allergic to the plastic fountain cones.
Also follow the M.O.M.S Basement account at M.O.M.S Basement 18 and go vote on our latest poll. Doug, Shy Sox fan, tweet more about the White Sox or the Chicago Cubs. It's pretty close. I mean, Matt, can we get a live vote count on that?
Oh, you don't want that because we're losing.
Give me a percentage on that also when you get there. But
Give me a minute.
yeah, of course, we got a lot of NFL to jump into. The Bears had an absolutely busy week. I'm just looking at my notes here, and I see 6 additions and 7 subtractions and a couple retained players here. So a lot to react to this week, and of course the NFL went absolutely crazy. A lot of quarterbacks changing teams. Can't wait to get into it. Still waiting on Matt with that live vote count. Let's see.
Shit, I'm about to get to it before he does.
65 votes, 65% for the White Sox.
Well, that doesn't make me feel any better. But 65 votes, 65% for the White Sox. That leaves 35% for the Northsiders, huh? For a diehard Sox fan. Interesting. There's doubt in people's minds.
He's a fraud.
There's doubt. All right, let's jump into it. NFL, we'll start with the Bears. Are the Bears back, Corey? Are the Bears finally back to being a respectable team in the NFL?
Oh, yeah, definitely respectable, but they're not winning the fucking North. Because, you'll see later the Vikings found their guy, but no, the Bears picked up, number 1 wide receiver. They picked up a number 2 receiver. They picked up a kicker who actually doesn't suck ass. They picked up not a great tight end, but a tight end who will be a good fit in their offense. And, I like all the moves they made.
Yeah, I like the moves. It's just there's going to be some question marks. I mean, the first impression, obviously, is they're doing a solid job here, building around their guy. Ryan Pace has firmly hitched his wagon to Mitch Trubisky. We all know that. And now he's got his head coach, who is also hitching his wagon to Mitch Trubisky because this offense needs to be very, very good, just like Kansas City offense was with Nagy at the helm. He's trying to do the same exact thing. Hard to duplicate Travis Kelce at tight end, but Adam Shaheen and Trey Burton should do a fine job at tight end with 2 good running backs, Jordan Howard, and I'll be really curious to see how they use Tariq Cohen this year because it's going to be completely different.
I'm so glad they didn't trade Jordan Howard for Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Jordan Howard just does not fit in the scheme. Period. He can't catch.
He's still a running back who will get you 1,300 yards on the ground.
I get it, but he can't catch. I mean,
that's fine. He doesn't have
Tariq Cohen is going to see an extreme increase in snaps this year, which obviously he didn't see that many last year because Donald Loggins just doesn't know football.
Apparently.
But, Tariq Cohen is going to be huge for the Bears this year. Looking at the receivers they grab, Allen Robinson, obviously coming off the torn ACL, 3 years, $42 million from the Bears. He's the number 1 receiver, if he's healthy. If he can come back and be healthy, he is a dominant receiver who Mitch Trubisky is going to love playing football with.
Yeah, ACLs in football aren't really that big of a deal in terms of injuries, at least I feel, especially when you see how well players like Adrian Peterson bounce back from them. He's a 1,400-yard receiver back in 2015. That's
with
crazy.
Blake Bortles?
Yeah, with fucking Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles gets you a lot of garbage time yards, but still, Blake Bortles is not a good quarterback. And then, 1 catch last year. He had just under 900 yards the year before. but he's turning 25 in August.
Yeah, that's part of the upside here. He's 24 right now.
Yeah, he's young as shit.
He's on a short deal. He's got a lot to prove. And I like the deal a lot better than I like the Sammy Watkins deal in Kansas.
Well, Sammy Watkins got more money and he's less of a player.
Right, and he's been hurt a lot more
than
Robinson has. We're going to get into the Watkins deal a little bit later, but Allen Robinson, a huge piece for the Bears. That was like the first domino to fall, I think, really.
Oh, yeah.
In free agency.
I remember, too, I was at work and a couple days ago, and it dropped around 1 in the morning. I was on my quote-unquote lunch. I was like, fucking hyped, let's go.
Let's be honest, when you're saving lives, you don't take breaks.
And no, I do.
Oh, are all nurses getting exposed right here?
No, what the fuck? I am entitled to a half-hour break for a 12-hour shift. Fuck off.
No, you're not. 12 hours on.
No,
then you get 12 hours off.
That's a shitty deal.
Well, that's what you get for when you want to save lives. By the way, can we talk about, for just a quick second, so my cousin, he's a doctor, but like he just graduated med school. He's like a neurosurgeon, I think, like a super smart guy.
Oh, good to see you're involved in his life.
But, yeah, I mean, his work is complicated, man. I'm not going to try to understand it. But he goes to school for like 15 years.
Yeah, you have 4 years for your undergrad, 4 years for med school, and then 4 to 5 years for like a residency.
But now he gets, basically what I understand is drafted. He doesn't even get to pick. Like, he gets picked, you know? He gets picked today he gets to give his choices, but he doesn't have, full say on where he gets to go. Now he has to spend 7 years as a doctor, a neurosurgeon at Penn State, which is like his number one choice. But I'm talking to my parents, I'm like, why can't he just pick where he wants to go? I don't know. I don't understand.
It's fucking crazy.
I don't understand the medical profession. I don't know if you do.
Clearly not. And yes, I do.
But we do know I'm a nurse. We've established that in previous episodes. All right, let's move on. We talked a little bit about Trey Burton, but what do you think about him as a player? I know he fits the system well, in my opinion. What do you think he's going to bring to the Bears next year?
Well, he's going to be. I think he's going to be less of the typical. First of all, he's not the starter.
No.
You know, if you and that's like something that comes with an asterisk, because when you fill out, a quote-unquote starting lineup in the NFL, you have 2 wide receivers, you have a tight end, you have a running back and a fullback, and a quarterback and 5 linemen. That's not the case in the NFL anymore.
The fullback is dead.
Yeah, first of all, the fullback is dead. But also, you're going to have 2 running back sets, you're going to have 3 wide receiver sets, you're going to have 2 tight end sets, you're going to have no backs, 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers. It's just going to be that way. He's going to see the field a lot. They gave him 4 years, $32 million with $18 million guaranteed. He's going to see the field. He's going to be, I've only watched some highlights on Burton. I see he's got really good hands, and I see he's a really good red zone threat. I see him, making catches around or above 2 dudes who are just trying to cover him. His numbers aren't, eye-popping or anything, but he's going to be a damn good player.
Well, you're on the same team as arguably the best tight end last year, Zach Ertz. Obviously, he's going to control most of the game, but I think the thing that sticks out is athleticism and a big red zone threat, like you said. That's the biggest thing, because in the NFL, if you want to win a lot of games, guess where you got to be pretty good at, and that's inside the 20-yard line.
You got to be able to get 7 instead of 3.
Absolutely.
And, Adam Shaheen's going to be Adam Shaheen's going to be the starter. Adam Shaheen's going to get most of the yards. Adam Shaheen's going to block a lot, and that gives Trey Burton, a chance to maybe match up on a corner on the outside where he's got the height advantage in the red zone. So I'm excited by it.
And this might be the move, this next one we're going to talk about here, that I kind of like the most, just because it's sneaky, it's underrated, and this is a guy in Aaron Lynch who he's played his best under Vic Fangio. And he said, I think he's had 6 sacks each of the last 2 years. He's had injury problems, but if he's healthy, this could be a very, very underrated signing for the Bears on defense.
Yeah, I'm looking up his stats right now, because I saw that thing too where it said that he had 6 sacks. He actually has not. He's had 2.5 in the last 2 years, but that's been without Vic. He had his rookie year, he had 6 sacks, and then he had 6.5 in.
So under Fangio,
yeah,
he had 6 sacks.
Essentially. So. It's a good signing because, first of all, only 25, and he literally just turned 25. It looks like, this month he turned 25. So happy birthday! But he's gonna be looking like the third rusher if they can draft somebody to put next to Leonard Floyd, or they bring back somebody like Lamar Houston or something like that who actually didn't play poorly under Vic. I think that the Bears will prioritize a pass rusher in the first 2 rounds, and Aaron Lynch is going to be a really nice complementary piece coming off the edge.
Yeah, I think Vic Fangio knows how to maximize talent out, especially out of Aaron Lynch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a really underrated signing, a guy to watch out for on the pass rush for the Bears in the upcoming season. Let's move to the backup quarterback position. We're going to skip over the kicker. It's a kicker.
Yeah.
I mean, last year they struggled with the kicker position.
Well, ever since they got rid of Robbie Gold, they've struggled with the kicking position.
And everybody remembers the game where Robbie Gold kicked 5 field goals and beat the Bears. It's a team game.
It's on four.
Kickers don't
But
beat you.
Cody Parkey had a 91% field goal percentage last year, so that'll do.
We call that nice.
No, we don't.
We do now. I'm changing it.
You don't change how the internet works, my friend.
Well, spoiler alert. Mark Zuckerberg did it.
Okay, well, you're not Mark Zuckerberg.
Matt's looking at me like you are the fucking dumbest person I've ever seen.
Me
in my
too.
life.
I'm looking at you like that too.
No, I don't get it out of you. I get like you envy me, and Matt is just looking at me.
Whoa! Whoa!
Matt's gonna be like, you need to shut up.
You want to cut Joey's ego down real quick? Just tell him I have a bunch of a shitty job he did.
Okay, no. Now, last week Matt was talking shit about my soundproof job, right? Well, I put up the last of the squares that I had.
It looks like garbage.
Clearly, Matt is again roasting my ability to soundproof.
I told him exactly what to do and how to do it. He comes like, Matt, look what I did. Doesn't do a damn thing I told him to do.
No, that corner is covered. Corner is covered.
I'm gonna do some online shopping while you guys argue.
Anyways, I'm gonna get more soundproofing foam, and I'm gonna soundproof the shit out of this room. Okay. Nothing out of you guys. All right.
It seemed like there was more of a thought there. It just kind of that was it.
Did you guys know you could buy the 8-film Harry Potter collection for $17.59?
Did you know last week?
Is it Blu-ray though?
DVD set.
No,
doesn't say. It's from 2011, so no. Did you know last week after we got off the podcast, we all sat on the couch and watched Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets?
Yeah, and this fucker turned it off before it was over.
The basilisk was dead. The movie was over. It was 3 o'clock in the morning.
We're just being spoiler alerts here.
I had to go to sleep. I had work.
And we are not sticking to sports right now.
We're moving back to it here. Talk backup quarterback for the Chicago Bears. They locked him up. Chase Daniel is the new backup. Not Mike Glennon. Not Mark Sanchez. Chase Daniel. He got $5 million over
$5 million a year for 2 years.
$5 million a year for 2 years. I mean, it is what it is. I would like to be a little bit less, but the $5 million
That's a lot of money for a backup quarterback.
Yeah, which in a perfect world he's not going to see the field.
Yeah, 2 years, $10 million with $7 million guaranteed.
Yeah, I don't know how much he's really going to impact Trubisky. I think more Nagy's going to do that. I mean,
he's thrown 3 passes over the last 3 years.
He was just in Philly. He kind of followed Doug Peterson from KC to Philly, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean it's notable because you recognize the name.
He's a good name, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a bad.
He's a Mizzou guy, am I wrong?
Yeah, he was a Mizzou quarterback, and I believe he was like the knock on him coming out was that he was like a small guy, and he is 6 foot even, which is small as a quarterback in the NFL. But I mean, he manages to stick around. Yeah,
and he's getting paid good money to not play.
Jesus Christ.
Backup quarterback, best job in the world.
Easily.
I think backup goaltender is a better gig.
No, absolutely not.
You don't get paid nearly
because
much.
let's say Mitch Trubisky goes down week 1 next year. I'm not expecting shit out of Chase Daniel. I'm not expecting shit out of the Bears. I might not even watch. So if he sucks, it doesn't matter.
And he's still collecting a check.
And he's still collecting $7 million guaranteed.
Yeah, and he was collecting $7 million AAV in Philadelphia.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is wild.
But
I think I was reading the other day. I don't remember. I think it was the Carolina Hurricanes. I may be wrong. It's like both their starter and their second string went down, and you have to have at least one goalie on the bench for a game. They actually they suited up the vending machine guy to be the goalie.
That's
and
funny.
the other backup went down, and he actually had to end up playing.
This is why no one respects the NHL. They can't even carry enough fucking players.
I could be wrong on that team, but I know it was one of those teams that had that situation.
One more addition for the Bears we're going to talk about here is Taylor Gabriel. Spent last 3 seasons with Atlanta. He's a slot guy. He's a speedster.
see, that's actually where you're wrong.
What?
He's not a slot guy.
He's going to play in the slot.
He might not.
Where's he going to play?
He could play on the outside. He played on the outside with Julio Jones in Atlanta.
Cam Meredith and Allen Robinson are going to play on the outside.
Okay. Chill. Matt Nagy's got a lot of moving pieces. Allen Robinson's played out of the slot too.
Majority of the snaps he's going to play in the slot.
Sure, if you're playing Madden, Taylor Gabriel's in the slot.
100%.
Yeah.
He's not moving either.
Because because he would be like.
I've already thought about it.
Because like if you sort your wide receivers by overall in Madden, he's gonna be like the third one.
Yeah, but I mean, you could change it, man, to where like you could not
Well,
go by overall.
I know
Yeah.
you can change certain schemes and stuff like that. But Taylor Gabriel actually, fun fact, did not play most of his snaps out of the slot.
He's going to play most of his snaps out of the slot.
Regardless,
We're going to talk more about this as the season draws near
I'm trying
and
to-
as the season is underway.
oh my God, what is wrong?
Well, let's look at the receiving core in Atlanta: Julio Jones, Taylor Gabriel. You got anybody else?
From them?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Is Roddy White still?
No,
around?
he's not. Exactly. You got to put somebody on the outside.
It's gonna. I'm saying it's gonna be Cam Meredith, but I'm saying previously he has been on the outside.
I'm saying now he's going to be in the slot.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. What are your thoughts on the deal?
I mean, Allen Robinson couldn't be it at wide receiver. Cam Meredith is probably a nice second wide receiver for them at his peak, but you needed more. You can't rely on, Kevin White, unfortunately.
I'm so glad you finally agree with me.
Well, I mean, I was just saying you can't call a guy a bust after the first year, but
Apparently you can.
when you play 4 games in 3 years or whatever it's been, you can't. You see, I think he's played like 4 games in 46 or something like that. Like, it's fucking terrible. But anywho, it really takes the quote unquote need at wide receiver out of the picture. They'll probably still draft some dude in the 4th round, 5th round, but they don't need to spend their 1st round pick on Calvin Ridley. They don't need to spend their 2nd round pick on a guy like Christian Kirk.
And we talked about like best case scenario for the Bears. This might be one of them where you end up signing 2 receivers, and now you don't even have to think about using a pick on one. Where we were saying like, yeah, they should move back.
Certainly not a high pick.
Yeah, no, you don't have to waste a top 3 round pick on a wide receiver.
Yeah, and if anything, you could still trade back and still grab a player at a different position than wide receiver. That's a good option. Or, they have a gaping hole at left guard right now. You take Quentin Nelson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's freedom up come draft time.
Quentin Nelson is goals. Goals.
How?
He's so good.
Okay, as a football player, yeah. I was just like, where is this coming from?
I want them to draft him.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Goals. He's goals.
I mean, he's a Pro Bowl guard from day one.
Plus his coach is now on the Bears.
Yeah.
So, it just feels like a...
I'm sure that'll have nothing to do with it when they draft him.
Right.
Yeah,
Of course.
uh-huh.
He won't even talk to the guy.
Yeah, nope.
They're not going to speak at all. Only in eye contact.
That's weird.
All right, now let's move to the subtractions here for the Bears. Some guys we've seen move away from the team. A lot of this just feels like signings that have just gone horribly wrong.
Well, not the first one.
No, I'm not talking about sitting. I'm talking about Glennon, Cooper, McPhee, who barely played as a Bear. I mean, just guys that Ryan Pace brought in. Some guys that Ryan Pace brought in that just...
Well, yeah, so Mike Glennon, Marcus Cooper, Marcus Wheaton, and Pernell McPhee are 4 guys who they signed who didn't work out as expected. It's one thing to sign these guys, but it's another thing that I like that he learned from his mistakes. And all the guaranteed money was front-loaded, so it didn't impact their cap to cut them. And, it just added money to the cap this year.
Yeah, I think, and they get a lot younger. Because, McPhee, when they signed McPhee, I was so stoked. Because he, from every indication...
He was good in
Baltimore.
In Baltimore, but like in a
spurts.
rotation kind of thing. So they thought maybe giving him more responsibility, he'd be fine. But clearly, the injuries were just too much.
Wrong.
And then you lose guys like Josh Sitton, Mitch Ryan, and Willie Young, who were really good at what they did. Josh Sitton, I love the signing when Josh Sitton happened because he's a really fucking good guard. And Willie Young had 10 sacks each year for 2 years or something like that. And Mitch Ryan was a solid rotational defensive end, but they're getting younger. And if you replace Josh Sitton with Quentin Nelson, that's an upgrade, that's an upgrade for 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Kyle Long, I don't know if we said this before, but Kyle Long's like the oldest player on the Bears.
Well, now it's Chase Daniel.
Now it's Chase Daniel, right. But previous this week, Kyle Long was the oldest player.
He's like 29.
Yeah, that's a good sign. Ryan
like
Pace is getting in a lot of young talent, kind of getting rid of the old veterans.
The only thing I don't like that they didn't do is they kept Deion Sims today.
Yeah, they had was cut him by 3 o'clock or something.
Yeah, 3 o'clock. If they cut him, they saved like $4.5 million or something like that. And now that he's still on the team, he's guaranteed $4.5 million for next year.
That's not good.
And he doesn't. People will say like, oh well, he's a good blocking tight end. He's not a good blocking tight end.
He was.
He was.
I don't know what happened last year.
He's debatably average at this point. Like if you say he's average, you could say he's below average probably. I don't know what his value is to this team. considering, they're counting on Shaheen and Burton to be the top two guys. I don't know, maybe if they're thinking if Burton gets hurt or something, or if Shaheen gets hurt. But
keeping him as a safety blanket.
Yeah, that's really expensive.
No, I think they can afford it. I think right now they still have 29.7 million.
They're not strapped for cap or anything,
Yeah.
and I think next year will be the last year of his deal. But at the same time, it's just like it's a little questionable to me.
A couple of players the Bears retained. First one I want to talk about is probably the biggest one, Kyle Fuller. What the fuck were the Packers doing today?
I don't know. I mean, it was like one of those things. You know how, remember back in the day when the Bulls were good under Tibbs and they had the poison pill contract with Omer Sheik?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that in the NFL anymore, but I feel like that's what the Packers were trying to do, and they just failed miserably.
This feels to me like it's the Packers finally say we're going to go out, we're going to spend money.
I think it's the Packers looking at the Bears and being like, whoa, we have to fuck this up any way we possibly can because they're fucking coming.
They're like,
coming for you.
We're going to spend money. And then they're going to go out, they offer the sheet to Kyle Fuller, here you go, this is what we're offering you. They probably are expecting the Bears to match, they're hoping they're not going to, but they're like, they're probably going to match this. Bears match it not even 5 hours later. They don't even wait a day. They have 5 days, they don't wait at all.
Which I think was dumb on the Bears' point of view, because why not make them, because you have 5 days to match, why not tie up all Green Bay's money in the possibility of Kyle Fuller and make the Packers wait for 4 days and 23 hours and 59 minutes until you fucking sign that offer sheet, because then they have all that money tied up in a free agent that they can't use to sign somebody else.
Now I think they tell the fan base, listen, shoot, we tried to address the defense. It didn't work.
So when Aaron Rodgers ends his career without having any, with having
like,
one Super Bowl,
but we tried to sign Kyle Fuller.
Yeah, about that.
And then everyone's going to lose their job. But we signed Jimmy Graham. We spent money.
Yeah, no, that's.
I think that's what this is. It's kind of like, oh well, we gave it our best shot there, buddy.
I know we're not a Green Bay sports show, but the Packers objectively have.
Am I not wearing my cheese hat?
I don't see one.
Oh, okay.
Continue. My vision might be going away.
I can't see anything.
The Packers take these they're taking these weird sideways steps where, now this is me just watching Jordy Nelson torch the Bears year after year after year. I think Jordy Nelson could come back and still be a fucking really good receiver.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the cut.
Where's he coming back to?
Oakland.
The Oakland Raiders.
No, we're not there anymore, baby.
Vegas Raiders.
We're going to Vegas.
But you can't say the Vegas Raiders.
For those of you who don't know, Matt's a Raiders fan.
Sure am.
A long-suffering Raiders fan.
Yeah, and it's finally turned around, bitches.
It's okay. I feel like that as a White Sox fan. But anywho. So the Packers try to upgrade the weakest part of their roster, probably the cornerback spot, fail miserably, and they make this sideways move of signing Jimmy Graham but getting rid of Jordy Nelson. I don't know what they're doing, but the articles and the videos I've seen people posting on ESPN of like, oh God, the Packers have weapons. Watch out for them this year. The Packers are at best the third most talented team in the North. They're probably the fourth most or the worst talented team in the North.
Yeah, the Bears have more talent than the Packers.
I would argue the Lions do too.
It's close.
I mean, it's just they're taking a step in the wrong direction and they're ruining the prime of the best quarterback to ever step on the field.
Debatably. Yeah, I don't know. The Packers are always confusing in this way because, I mean, we've been saying this for close to 2 years now.
I've said this since the Trestman days. The Trestman roster on paper was more talented than the Packers roster.
And they're bailed out by Aaron Rodgers.
It was just the gap between Aaron Rodgers and Jay Cutler was so freaking massive because Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the game.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And they have one Super Bowl with him and they're just wasting him.
They should have a few.
Yeah.
Realistically, they should have 3.
Like, even if you look at the talent Tom Brady has had on paper at wide receiver, outside of, like, having Randy Moss that
was
1 or
just
2
unfair.
years, which was really unfair, Aaron Rodgers has had more talent on the offensive side of football, and he has 1 ring, and Brady has, 6? 5?
5.
Crazy.
The NFC North is going to be a great race next year.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It runs through Minnesota, which we'll get into more here in a second.
If Minnesota doesn't win a Super Bowl, but anywho.
And this Fuller contract is kind of a weird one. It's super backloaded.
I'm not even sure what the guarantee is, if it's 18 or 29.
Yeah, I've seen it both ways, so I don't really know what the guarantee is for sure, but it's going to be either 18. We know it's 18 or 29.
Yeah, if he has $18 million guaranteed, they basically control him. All his guarantee is up after a year and a half, which is like, thanks Green Bay, you just did our negotiating for us. Or if it's $29 million over 4 years, then hey, we got, quote-unquote fair market value for him. Thanks, Green Bay. You saved us the time.
Yeah, and the Bears went to work with another cornerback. They retained Prince M.O.M.S, 3-year deal, I believe $27 million.
I'm not sure if guarantee is on that. Let me look real quick.
Yeah, and just, he had a pretty decent year with the Bears. I mean, former first-round pick, had a pretty good year with the Bears last year. I'm cool with them retaining him. You know, you got your 1-2 corners as of right now. We'll see how he plays next year, but...
Guaranteed money for Prince Amukamara was $18 million.
So that's okay. I'm fine with the deal. I'm fine with the 3
I'm fine
years,
with it too. He's a solid 2 corner. I like it.
Yeah. All right, we talked a lot about the Bears and all the moves they made this week. Some good. Well, hopefully all good. We'll see which ones turn out to bust because surely at least a couple of those will.
Oh, that's the attitude.
Have to wait and see. Oh, really, Corey? Really? You're going to give me that shit right now? You're going to give me that shit right now?
I'm just being honest.
Okay, that's fair. We're going to move into now some of the biggest moves
Turn off your damn phone.
in NFL free agency, starting with the biggest. The best available quarterback on the market goes to the best team in the NFC. The Minnesota Vikings signed Kirk Cousins to that 3-year, $84 million, fully guaranteed.
Which is fucking crazy.
You like that? That's all I can think of when I hear about this contract is the Kirk
When I
Cousins.
think about a quarterback with bad accuracy down the field.
Yeah, well, this is the thing with Minnesota is they only need an average quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
You're
That's
right.
how good the team is.
You're right.
I mean, their defense is phenomenal. They're
If
well coached.
if they don't win a Super Bowl this year, something went horribly wrong.
They're well coached. Mike Zimmer, Lockport Township High School graduate Mike Zimmer, may I add. Nobody? Okay. You guys never react to the things
I would say that name does sound familiar.
He graduated from Lockport, yeah.
What year?
But he's old as shit, so a while ago.
Oh.
He's a head coach in the NFL. Dude's at least 55.
Oh.
Like old. So they get their guy in Kirk Cousins. I think they were the team. Now they say there was a mystery team that offered Drew Brees $60 million over 2 years. It had to have been the Vikings. It had to have been. I'm just going to say that. But Kirk Cousins going to Minnesota. They also got Sheldon Richardson, I believe, this week.
Yes.
To shore up the defensive line that was already very good. They have Xavier Rhodes at corner. They've got Delvin Cook coming back at running back.
Mike Zimmer is 61 and graduated Lockport High School in 1973.
My parents were 1 year old. That's how old Mike Zimmer is.
It's crazy.
Anyways, they've got Adam Thielen. They've got Stephon Diggs. This team is stacked. They should win 12 or 13 games next year.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins, you only need to play mediocre.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be fine.
Yeah. I mean, if we go like fully into it with this contract, I mean, it's a fucking lot of money and it's all guaranteed. And, you know, he makes some of the players around him better. I think he hurts certain value with like Adam Thielen's deep ball potential because Kirk Cousins was actually one of the worst quarterbacks in the league last year at throwing the deep ball, whereas Case Keenum was middle of the road. So I think that hurts some of Adam Thielen's value. But, you know, like we said, they need a franchise quarterback. They got a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, and I've always liked Kirk Cousins just because, you know, he's kind of an underdog story. You know, he's drafted late to the Redskins behind. Obviously, they already drafted RG3, number 2 overall. Then he ends up balling out, you know, playing well, betting on himself when he has to because they tag him for the last 2 years. So keeps playing well, finally gets his 3-year deal, finally gets his money, and frankly should go and get a Super Bowl on this team.
I'm just a little confused. I guess if they believe in him so much, why only 3 years?
I don't know. Quarterbacks are just going to get paid. I mean, that's it in the NFL. But I don't know. I was also thinking it would be like a 4 or 5 year deal minimum.
I mean, what do they think they can just franchise him year 4, year 5, and whatever it is?
I don't know.
By then he's just done.
Also, they traded for Trevor Siemian from the Broncos. I don't know why. Well, you're trading for your backup quarterback. It is. I mean, Siemian has been awful.
I mean, why wouldn't you just draft a quarterback?
That would be mine.
Why wouldn't you draft like Josh Allen and just fucking develop Josh Allen for a couple of years?
Well, I mean, you'd probably have to draft him in the first round, and they're not going to do that. I mean, that's it. I would have drafted somebody like
maybe
round.
I don't value Josh Allen very highly, but
I
know somebody well.
Josh Allen's probably going in the first round of this draft.
Shit, he might go top 10.
Especially since all the good publicity from draftjoshallen.com. I mean, it's just blowing up. So.
Josh Allen is my current QB6, by the way.
Ooh, yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Another quarterback changing scenery. The former Vikings quarterback, Case Keenum, he led them to that miracle win in the playoffs against New Orleans. He's shipping off to Denver, and I think they're still going to draft a quarterback at 5 overall. Corey, what's the number on the Keenum deal?
Oh my God, I was hoping you were going to stall me time, but obviously not.
Yeah, I thought you could type faster. I'm sorry.
2 years, $36 million with 15. Let me see. $15 million cap hit in 2018 and a bigger $21 million cap hit in 2019.
The Broncos still have a pretty good defense. Obviously, the best linebacker in football, Von Miller, is on this team. So they too, I think, need just a little bit above average quarterback play. Keenum might get him that. I'm not sold on this. I mean, Keenum has been pretty bad his NFL career before going to Minnesota last year. I think they're taking a huge gamble here, which is why they're going to back this up by drafting somebody at 5th overall. But what to see what John Elway can do.
And honestly, Benjamin Albright, he's a great follow on Twitter if you guys don't follow football, or if you don't follow enough football guys yet. He's been calling Baker Mayfield to the Broncos for months now. Like crazy, just hardcore pounding Baker Mayfield to the fucking Broncos. So if they're looking to take a quarterback long term, it's going to be Baker Mayfield if no one jumps on.
Yeah, I think Baker Mayfield he's going to be better than Case Keenum. No doubt in my mind.
Well, if you draft him that high, he better fucking be better than Case fucking Keenum.
It's a lot of money to give Keenum, but then like we just said, average quarterbacks in the NFL get paid a ton of money. Look at Andy Dalton. I mean, they just get paid.
Look at Mike Lennon from last year.
They just get paid. It's just literally open a checkbook. The owner's like, what do you want? You're a quarterback. I need a quarterback.
Chase Daniel just got $7 million guarantee to be a backup.
Exactly. I mean, if you're a quarterback, I should have been a quarterback. I should have tried to go pro in a different sport.
Oh, yeah?
100%.
I have doubts that you could throw a ball 20 yards.
Well, not anymore.
There we go.
GG's, man. Maybe if I was 15, I don't know. You never know.
20 yards is 60 feet.
Yeah, I could do it. Yeah, I could do it.
Oh, yeah?
Amount is 60 feet 6 inches. Yeah, I could do it.
Okay.
I got that in me at least one time.
Uh-huh.
All right, now let's move. Andrew Norwell becomes the highest paid guard in football.
Yep, all-pro guard.
Goes to Jacksonville. He's a force on the inside.
He's super young too. He's coming off his first contract.
Good deal for Jacksonville. They are still spending money. They spent a ton of money on the defense. It paid off. Now they're going to the offensive line. You got to protect that shitbag quarterback you just paid, Blake Bortles. Boy, you need to give that guy all the time in the world because he cannot go through progressions. I mean, it's just awful.
Bad quarterback.
Bad quarterback, but if you give him a great offensive line, a great run game, and a great defense, you can go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They did that this year. They're going to try to do that.
And a fucking crazy good defense.
Yeah, I mean, defense.
Just a crazy good defense.
I mean, literally called Saxonville for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
crazy good
absolutely insane.
So it helps out the running game, helps out, I almost said helps out Case Keenum, helps out Blake Bortles. It's a good deal.
And one contract that we don't like, Sammy Watkins goes to Kansas City. We mentioned.
I don't think we like the next two, by the way.
Yeah, well, the next two really. Sammy Watkins gets a lot of guaranteed money.
3 years, 48 with 30 guaranteed.
So much money.
It's a lot of money. First of all, it's more than Allen Robinson got paid, and in no universe should Allen Robinson not get more money than Sammy Watkins did.
In fairness, Allen Robinson didn't play last year, and Watkins did. He played okay compared to what he was. I mean, he played way better than he had in the past, but. I mean, I think this is.
But even still, Watkins had like 500-something yards receiving. I was actually surprised with how low it was.
Kansas City is going out. They think they need to get all the weapons they can for their new quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. And they need a guy who can run deep. They already have Tyreek Hill. Now they got two and Sammy Watkins with Kelsey. They got a lot of weapons on this team. It's going to be up to Mahomes to kind of lead the team.
Mahomes got a deep ball, and Sammy Watkins can run the fucking nine. But at the same time, that's a lot of money.
I just have questions about the health. I mean, Sammy Watkins hasn't been able to put it all together in the NFL since, out of Clemson. I think he's out of Clemson, right?
Yes.
Since he's come out of Clemson, he hasn't been able to put it all together. So wait and see on that. $30 million, a lot of guaranteed money to get Sammy Watkins. Way too much money. And now the next guy, this hurts because we were so on Albert Wilson.
He probably was Albert. It probably was Albert Wilson until Chicago, until he started asking for $8 million a year.
That's a lot of money. That's the only reason it stings a little bit less. Is because the AAV is so high.
He would probably be the guy instead of
Taylor Gabriel
right now if he had been willing to come down on that money.
And I like Albert Wilson more than I like Taylor Gabriel, but AAV is just absurd. I'm glad the Bears didn't pay that. But just that quote from the Kansas City GM, we read that a couple podcasts ago. It was
reverse tampering.
Yeah, it was so bad. Matt's in Chicago, so
where's Albert going to end up? Well, Matt's in Chicago, so
and that had to have been it. And then of course we're pitching in Albert Wilson's going to be a Bear. He's a Dolphin. He's playing with former Bear Adam Gase, former Bear coordinator Adam Gase, but. It just hurts.
What are they going to do with the quarterback?
I got ripped on for that one at work, by the way.
What?
Oh, Albert Wilson to the Bears. Albert Wilson to the Bears. I was just like,
it made sense at the time. They were the favorite for him from the start. It's bullshit. If anybody says they thought otherwise.
More quarterback action out in the desert, Arizona. They get Sam Bradford and Mike Glennon. Yikes. First of all, they asked their best, arguably their best defensive player between him and Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu. They're asking him to take a pay cut, and then they go out and sign Mike Glennon.
I just want to talk, first of all. You talk mad shit on Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick wouldn't even have to throw a fucking football to be the starter on this team. Okay?
Listen, Sam Bradford can still throw the ball, all right? He's still a very accurate passer.
Okay.
And I don't want any goddamn baggage that comes with Colin Kaepernick. It's not worth it.
Moving on.
He's not winning any Super Bowls.
Arizona's having the first pick next year.
You know where Kaepernick's going.
No, I don't. He's not playing on the team. That's
The XFL?
Going to the XFL, baby.
in 2020 when it implodes again because it's a horrible idea.
I'm telling you, 2020, Matt's XFL weekly review coming at you.
That's a long time away.
Also, I love how you were looking into the camera thing.
Like it can see you.
Like it can see you, but you're like behind.
Like
the
there's a
camera.
lens behind the camera. Yeah, no.
You had a good camera.
Cardinals worst team in football.
How are they? I just don't understand their thought here. Let's ask Tyrann Mathieu to take a pay cut. Well, let's sign Mike Glennon to be a backup.
Well, I just showed you too. The Cardinals were to cut his contract to $8 million a year, and he said no, so they cut him. And then Houston picks him up for a max of $7 million this year.
Exactly.
He did not want to be in Arizona.
Yeah.
He did not want to sit through a rebuild and finding a franchise fucking quarterback. He wanted to go to a team where he could fucking win right now.
Were you with me when I was watching him on NFL Network, or was that my brother?
No, I was with you.
Okay. He was just like,
with you.
Yeah, they were like asking him if he wanted to stay. He was just smiling.
He was just smirking.
You could tell he was like, I'm out, man.
Yeah, he's like,
They're
God, fuck Arizona.
Yeah, he's like, so they're like, so did you talk to the team today? He's like, yeah. Oh, what came out of that meeting? Oh, it's all good. He's like, I'm fucking gone, man. I'm out of there. It just doesn't make a lot. I mean, it's just stupid. In Arizona, Bruce Arians retired. He wanted out of there. I mean, it's just yikes. You might be right. They might have the number one pick next year. I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, but they're bad.
Yikes. Moving on, the Jets. They were busy this week. Teddy Bridgewater. They bring back Josh McCown. Isaiah Crowell coming to be their running back, and Tremaine Johnson, arguably the best cornerback available in this free agent class. Going to the Jets. First of all, Tremaine Johnson, nobody pegged him to go to the Jets.
No, absolutely.
Can we like, I read that and I was like, huh? What is this guy sipping on? Because that's absurd. And then Bridgewater, he's taking a 1-year prove-it deal because obviously since he destroyed his knee, he hasn't been on the football field.
Yikes.
No one thought he would even be back in football.
Who is he going to be throwing to?
Nobody.
Good luck.
Robbie Anderson?
Who's protecting him?
Nobody.
Good luck.
Todd Bowles.
Good luck.
Yo, Todd, we're going to need you to put down the headset and get in there at left tackle.
Yeah.
I think I can do that. Yeah, okay.
Good
He's
luck.
so mellow. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I can do that.
Josh McCown's going to be seeing a lot of time.
Josh McCown's going to see time and then get hurt again. And then finally retire.
And then that third string quarterback, whoever they sign or draft, is going to see some time too.
I hope Bridgewater has a good year next year. I mean, you just like to see it after he's through so much shit.
Bridgewater's. I love Teddy Bridgewater, but what's he working with?
Nothing.
Good luck.
They got nobody on this team.
Good luck.
That's why they're spending so much money right now.
Good luck.
Moving on, the Packers, we talked about it a little bit. They cut Jordy Nelson. They pick up Muhammad Wilkerson. They pick up Jimmy Graham. They're at best the third most talented team in the NFC North.
I agree.
Best.
I really do. Like the Nelson for Graham was like a weird sidestep, and Muhammad Wilkerson, it's a good 1-year prove-it deal.
Yeah,
it's a really good 1-year prove-it deal. Muhammad Wilkerson used to be a dominant force in this league.
They've still got a lot of holes to address on this team. Aaron Rodgers can't do it all for you.
They're really good on the defensive line. They have Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Graham.
And that's it. I mean, Devontae Adams is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I don't like Randall Cobb at all. I think he's a wide receiver.
I think his time is come and gone.
He's peaked, and now he's on the decline. So let's go to Malcolm Butler.
That's so much money.
Goes from not playing in the Super Bowl, benched by Bill Belichick, to signing a $61 million deal with the Tennessee Titans.
That's so much money.
First of all, he won them a Super Bowl, and then he didn't play the Super Bowl, and now he's just getting paid. Tennessee, they needed an upgraded corner. This is way too much money for me. I mean, unreal. What's the guaranteed money on the Malcolm Butler?
Let's see. More than 30 of it is guaranteed. I don't know the exact dollar. That's
Yikes.
a lot of money.
Yeah, it sure is. That's way too much money.
I mean, yeah. Super Bowl hero and all that stuff. And you know what? I don't know why they sat him. I don't know why they gave up on him.
What happened to remembering what you last saw? And that was him on the sideline of the Super Bowl. What about that made Mike Vrabel and company go, you know what? $61 million sounds pretty good right about now.
And I saw people tweeting out that they were like bidding against themselves. Like nobody else was seriously in on him for that much money, but the price just kept going up, and he's just sitting there like, talking to his agent. His agent should be my agent. Like we talked about all the other
great agents.
No,
who was it that we said this about?
The basketball coach.
Sean Miller from Arizona.
The coach who got fired, and he gets like $10 million because he got fired or some shit.
If he got fired, he never got fired.
Well,
he coached Arizona to a loss in the NCAA tournament yesterday.
Yikes.
Yeah, that was a bad one too. Bills, they go out and sign A.J. McCarron. They get a quarterback to bridge the gap. They got a ton of picks in this draft. They got 2 first-round picks, 21 and 22. They're going to package.
Are they going to trade up for?
Yeah, they're going to package picks.
They have the ammunition to trade up to 1 if they want to.
Yeah, they can go out and get whoever the hell they want to play quarterback. But McCarron is going to be the bridge between or to that guy, whoever they so choose. If they were smart, it would be Baker Mayfield. Just saying, Buffalo. You want Bills Mafia to raise in the playoffs one more time? You go out there and you trade up.
Baker Mayfield is the perfect quarterback.
He would fit in Bills Mafia.
He's the perfect quarterback for the Bills Mafia.
Bills Mafia are
And
psycho.
I feel like Lamar Jackson would be like the exact opposite of perfect.
If there's someone in Bills Mafia listening, can you fly us out to a Bills game?
I will say, if I wasn't a Raiders fan, I think I'd totally be a Bills fan.
We got a perfect table.
Matt, if we get to Buffalo, would you jump into a table with me?
Oh, 100%.
We got a perfect
Light the table on fire. We're going to do it big.
This is the perfect table for that. I mean, someone's going to replace it if you guys are jumping through it, but I mean, I'm down to watch it.
I'm climbing on top of the fucking Ford pickup and I'm jumping into this table.
Will you buy me a new table?
Maybe.
I don't like
If I drink, well, think about it. If I drink too much, I'll miss.
I don't want you to miss. I'm not a nurse.
I'll go like shoulder and neck first into the ground.
Oh, that hurts so bad. You're going to jam that shit up, man.
I'll snap my fucking neck at that rate. Holy shit.
I would probably save you because, I save lives.
No. Move on.
You'd be the wrong person out of us 3 to jump and miss. Let's just get that straight, all right? If I jump and miss...
Is anybody here a medical professional? I'm just laying on the ground.
That guy is right down there. He's got one arm.
At least he's not paralyzed.
Well, we don't know that yet, sir. We're going to have to assess the situation here. All right, couple more here. Richard Sherman, released by Seattle as they went on that complete spree of releasing players. He signs in San Fran, the Stanford kid coming home. San Fran, good deal there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I forgot how much money that the guaranteed was. I'm looking it up right now.
San Fran's another team on the come up here. They got their quarterback. Now they get their star on defense.
You know what they didn't get, though? Allen Robinson.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
3 years, 39. I don't know what the guarantee was, and it's bothering me. Fuck.
Well, now it's bothering me because you don't.
The page I'm loading up keeps moving, and it's bothering me.
Gotta love those pop-up ads.
No, fuck the shit out of that.
I like what Kyle Shanahan is building there in San Francisco. And then, like I said, this is their star on defense. Solomon Thomas, their big draft pick last year, the first rounder. They traded with the Bears to go back to 3 to pick him. He didn't really work out too well. Did not have as good of a season as they would want.
I think it's 27 guaranteed.
That's not bad.
Anywho.
Yeah, so a good signing for San Fran. I think he's going to come out and just straight up.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited because he plays Seattle twice a year. So he's going to be super pumped for those games. And, when
Pete Carroll's going to chew on gum so hard.
When he was at his peak, I thought he was a better quarterback than Darrelle Revis.
Yeah,
he's just a fucking great player.
You could put a man-to-man with anybody in the league.
Oh,
anybody.
Yeah. He's got the size and the speed to match up. Just stay healthy.
And one more here. Cleveland is making moves. They get Tyrod Taylor. They get Jarvis Landry. They already have Josh Gordon. What do you make of it?
I mean, I love Tyrod Taylor.
I do too.
I think Tyrod Taylor is a decent enough quarterback to get you wins in the league. And he's more than decent enough to be a stopgap.
Yeah, absolutely. I think draft your quarterback at 4, take Saquon Barkley at 1, because he's the running back.
Well, who they just signed? They just signed Carlos Hyde?
Yes.
Yes.
But Barkley is the running back that you want, period. In offense, next year of Tyrod Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Josh Gordon, and Jarvis Landry, I'll watch that.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
That's a team that might even be a 500 football team.
If they would finally win some games, and Hugh Jackson could maybe keep his job.
Maybe.
Because he just has not won football.
Well, he's gonna be tying his job to whatever quarterback he drafts.
Sure. And he's an offensive guy, so you have to think that he's got his mind made up maybe on somebody. Hopefully not Josh Allen. Wouldn't that be Cleveland? Number 1, they take Josh Allen.
I would be on the fucking floor. I would be on the floor if they... No, I'd be laughing and crying if they took Josh Allen at 1 or 4. I would be in tears.
Alrighty, that's all.
Matt's cutting off the... What
are you doing, Matt?
We're not going to talk about the Raiders signings?
No.
Fine, the Raiders signed Jordy Nelson. I like it.
And Doug Martin.
Raiders signed Doug Martin. Don't like it.
Yeah. Doug Martin can't stand the field.
Jordy Nelson is a great receiver.
So do you know how much money they gave him?
Jordy Nelson?
No, Doug Martin.
I don't know. Matt's interrupting the outro for me to look up
It's a 1-year deal.
Doug Martin contract.
Doug Martin hasn't been relevant in 3 years.
5.9.
So why did I have to look it up if you can?
I just found it at 5.9, I think.
All right, well, that's all we want to talk about on this week's episode of M.O.M.S Basement. The NFL went absolutely berserk this week. We'll try to give you guys our takes on the biggest names that we thought. Matt obviously thought the Raiders had to be included.
Are we doing baseball this week?
We're not going to do any baseball this week, but keep an eye out. We're going to have 2 episodes releasing this week. This free agency show and then the NL preview will both go up at some point this week. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel before you leave today. Leave a comment. Leave that 5-star review on iTunes. Appreciate that. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at M.O.M.S Basement 18. Follow me at Joe_Frank01. Follow Corey at Corey L Diablo. Matt is at Not Matt from Pine. That's right?
That was weird.
Sick. And we will see you guys next week.